Okay, so I decided to make a video about a few tips how to start in Darkness Falls. As you know, Darkness Falls is a mod, the overhaul of the 7 Days to Die. Usually for people who play a lot of 7 Days to Die and they find the end game content a little bit tedious because after 500 days or something in vanilla, you just build the bigger bases and that's it. Uh, 7 Days to Die changed this. In my opinion, it's a great mod. It's a really great mod. The only difficult part of this mod, apart of difficulty itself, is hard to figure it out. Some of the things. Uh, it will be hard. It was hard for me. Well, it might not be for you, but it was hard for me to figure it out. Some of those things. I had to go to the forums. I had to ask questions and so on and so on, and which might discourage someone to play this. It shouldn't. So I'm trying to make it easier for people to start in this game. I found a lot of really good let's play on YouTube, but not a lot of content with tips. And the tips which I found are a little bit outdated. So decided to make this one. Hopefully, it will help you start this mod easier than I had. I started it. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, food management. Um, as you know, there is a problem with at the beginning of the game. There is you will find it difficult to find the edible food because most of the food will give you dysentery. Let me show you. So most of the canned food is give you the food poisoning, 20%, 25%, 25%, and so on and so on and so on. However, there is some food which you can find on get-go, and you can actually make it safe. So, apple trees you can find in the forest biome, and oranges you can find in the forest biome. Apples are good to make the baked apple, which give you the 5 food, nothing else, just 5 food. However, it's easy to combine because you just have to basically have the sticks, which you can make from wood, and you need an apple, and you have a food. That's it. When you find all three of the fruits, types of the fruits, which is bananas as well, which are in desert, you can make the fruit salad, which gives you 15. So it takes one of each. And this actually need a clay bowl as well. Let me quickly show you. The clay bowl you can make. They're quite useful, so it's a good idea to have a few of them. And they're made from clay, obviously, and you can use any of the like campfire or the forge or whatever. I think you can make it in hand as well. Yeah, you can make it using hands as well. So you just craft one of those. It takes a long time to craft it, but when you use the forge or and advanced forge, when it takes advanced forge, it takes like 7 seconds. So when you have this, you can make yourself a fruit salad. You just have to grab a few of the fruits. In the desert, you can also find coconut. They are used for two things. One is to make the combine with the empty jars to make the coconut water, which gives you 15 water, which is better than boiled water. Or when you find yeast, you can make yeast as well from the wheat. But when you find yeast and combine it with the coconut, you can make dough. Dough, you have to have two of those unless you have working oven, which is later. When you make dough, you can make bread, obviously, which give you 5 food. However, when you combine bread with a grilled meat, you can have a steak sandwich, which is 25 food, and it gives you max stamina bonus. This is good food. This is when you start to make this, it's quite easy to make when you just grab the coconuts. If you're lucky enough to have the desert biome, or you will be going to another trader and you will see the desert biome, you can find the coconut trees over there. So grab coconuts and you will be sorted, and it will give you a lot of time. This food, it can take you through the meat game. You can make the tuna sandwiches as well. Let me just make one from fish sandwich. You can make from salmon and tuna. So both of those alone, um, they give you dysentery. However, when you have bread, you can make a fish sandwich, which doesn't take long, give you 20 food. Grilled meat is better. This one is more common, and you don't have to kill anything. I would save the tuna for the tuna fish gravy toast. I don't have this unlocked yet, but this is for the end game food, I believe, because it's quite difficult to do. Fish tacos are good as well, but this is later on. The first day, find apples. Try to find all three of those because it will be easier. If you cannot, just find apples and make the baked apples or yakka to make the grilled yakka. However, if you want to make the grilled yakka, it will require grilled yakka. It will require cooking grill. So it might not be available for you from the day one. However, the cooking grills are quite common, quite useful. If you find yourself in a desert biome, starting in a desert biome, it's definitely worth to even buy it to get the cooking grill and start to make the grilled yakka. Grilled yakka gives you the same food as um, apples, so it's quite easy food to do. You can make a lot of it. It takes some time to make it. However, you can set up this on a campfire in the trader, and you can go to do the quests and stuff, and you will be fine. Okay, so the next thing we will be talking about is dye. In Darkness Falls, actually, it has a use. In vanilla, you can just color your items and or scrap it for paint, and that's it. In Darkness Falls, it actually has a use. It's actually really important and will stop your progression if you don't pay attention to it. But not all dye is equal. It's split. So first four, so purple, brown, orange, and green, they are not important. They are not important at all. They are not part of any recipe, apart of the green one, which is part of recipe to make the white one. But they are not expensive, nothing. You can throw them away, scrap them, do whatever. The two, so the white one and the pink one are important just because they are expensive. So you can sell them to the trader. You cannot sell a lot of them. You can sell just, I think, 3 items each every reset. So if you have like 10 of those, just have to ignore it. If you have the problem with the management, you don't have to just hold up to it. Just keep in mind that the white and pink one are just for sale. They are not part of anything else. The white one is part of the pink one, but a part of this. They are not part of any recipe, nothing else. The black one, on the other hand, is very important item, and it will stop your progression if you don't have it. You will need it. It's not just that you want it. It's you will actually need it. The reason for this is that the black dye is a part of the ink recipe. Ink recipe is used to unlock the new classes. The ink recipe is part of the ink is a part of the recipe to unlock the new classes. So you need the black dye for this to make the ink. The ink also needs eggs and honey. You can find it in different places. But if you find the black dye, keep it. Always keep it. The red, blue, and yellow, they are important just because they are part of the recipe to make the black one. So if you don't have enough black one, you can actually go and combine those three and make yourself the black dye. You will need the water for it, the boiled water for it. But you can combine 6 of those, so two of each, to make the black recipe. That's why when you have the problem with the inventory management, just remember those two. Those two to keep, rest, throw away. Rest is not important unless you start to have the problems with finding the second black dye and you cannot unlock the class or something like that. But all those you can throw it away. Those two always keep, and you are sorted. And it's not that confusing anymore. Okay, mission system. It might be confusing at the beginning. It's actually quite easy to figure it out. To get the level 2 missions, you have to have certain points for the actually faction. As you can see here for Rect, I have 25 points, which means that I can do level 3 missions. If you have less than 10, he will not give you level 2 missions. And I think less than 23, it will not give you the level 3 missions. If you have 10, the day after, he will start to give you the level 2 missions. There are two traders, as you know, they are always in a compound. There are two traders. There is the Rect, which is the main one, the vanilla one over there. There is also the guard captain, which I'm standing, which actually glitched, so I have two of those in here. The difference between is the Rect will give you points. This one won't give you points. To prove it is I have right now 25 points. I've done a mission for this guy, so
Here
let's
you
just
go,
take it.
friend. Whatever you need,
We
just say the
gonna
word.
take Silencer, for example. I have 25 points still. Doesn't give me the point to the faction. However, Rect, when I give the mission to him, I
Is
have the
there
mission for
something
him as
you
well.
need? You think you're pretty smart now,
And
don't you?
we gonna
Here's your
take
pay,
whatever.
Einstein.
He gave me a point. So when you are doing missions and you want to level up the missions, pay attention where you take the missions from. Because if you take from the guy upstairs, he won't give you those points, and you might make like 30 or 40 missions, and still you will be on 7 or 8 or something like that. When you take the missions from the main trader, the vanilla trader, he will actually give you a point. You can use it, you can manipulate with this. So for example, if you want to stay on level 3 missions because of what there are reasons you want to do this, some POIs are OP, so you might want to exploit that and do the missions for this, just for this POI. Use the guard captain upstairs. If you want to level up, use this guy. Use the main faction guy to pull up this faction system, this point, so he will start to give you the better missions. And this is basically the idea behind the leveling up the missions. Also, the side note: when you are taking the mission, pay attention where they are. When you click on, let's say, clear zombies,
Let's make a pact.
this one
You
is
do
Science
something
Lab.
for me,
You will start to get
and
an
maybe
idea
I
what
won't
those
kill
POIs
you.
are. This one I actually know what is it. Apart of the, obviously you check the kilometers as well. Don't take the missions which are really far away, but this is the common sense. But sometimes some of
Listen up,
this is
jackass.
overlooked.
You want work? Then
Um,
show some respect.
this one is Science Lab as well, so this is the same building, exactly the same building. So if you are looking for certain stuff and you know which POIs has this certain stuff, like schematics for example, um, you can go there and choose the missions which are actually give you, because every single time you take the mission it resets the POI, so it resets the loot as well. I play to don't respawn the loot, so I turn off the respawning the loot. So this is the only way for me to respawn the loot. So when I find POIs, I know what is in there, and I want this stuff. I just exploit the system and just take it. When you log off and log back on, it will give you the different missions as well. But this is cheap. This is too cheap. It resets the missions every 24 hours in a way at midnight. So and they are two of those guys. So you will find the missions you need most of the time, unless you want to, you need some stuff, or you want to just to progress in a way, well, easier game. Anyway, this is the main reason why a lot of the people doesn't have, and they are confused why they don't have the level 2 missions, level 3 missions, and so on and so on. And it was driving me crazy at the beginning, and I had to really do the research, like this test that we saw right now, do this research to actually figure this out. A quick tip: the pocket modes are going to the clothing, not to the armor. This is a change from the vanilla. You cannot put the pocket mods. You cannot put to any of the armor. You have to put it on clothing. It doesn't work. There are certain items that will expand your inventory, which are backpacks. You can find them. You can find them in the crafting menu. Not find them. Find them. I think you can find them as well. And tactical riggings or personal rigging. This will expand your inventory as well. And of course, pocket mounts and pack mule, which is a skill. You can put points to it. I don't put more than 3. 3, I think it's rest. I can actually get by using the correct clothing. Early game, you might struggle to figure it out what time it is. There are a few ways to actually tell what time it is. The first is the vending machine. You have the time, day and time in here. Second one, when you use the trader and you choose my inventory, you have a time here as well.
Poppin' pills might
Third
be what you
one,
were looking for.
which I usually use in the evenings, is at 7 p.m., at midday, at 9 a.m., midday, and 7 p.m. There are crickets you can hear. We'll hear in a second. See? They start to make the noise. So by this time you can say every day at 7 p.m. the crickets are start to make a noise. So is the time, it's around time, especially in the early game, that you can say, okay, it's around 7, I should go home or wrap up and finish the mission or do whatever you need to do, and you can more or less tell before the night. After, when you find the watch, it will be obviously much easier. At the beginning, I find usually that I head home way earlier than I should be, and I'm at home for like 2-3 hours doing nothing. So this at least gives me the idea, because when you look at the at the horizon, you don't always see the sun, and you might struggle telling, oh, okay, it's start to be a little bit dark, so probably maybe 8 or something. No, 7 p.m. crickets are start to make a noise. Also, about the watch mode is a bit glitched, so sometimes when you put the second mode, as you can see, the watch disappeared. You have to put the watch as the last one. It doesn't matter where it will be, but it has to be as the last one to show the time. When you put any mode afterwards, it will disappear. It's, I believe, is overlooked, but and it might be patched at some point. However, if you have the watch and you don't have a time and you want to put the mods, it's probably because of this. The last thing I want to talk about is health early game. It might be a little bit problematic because certain items, like the painkillers, for example, give you the hydration, or the bandages you can use just one at a time, and you have to wait for the cooldown. However, there is one item which, in my opinion, is a little bit OP. Is the sterile bandages. This guy have it. Those. They are really cheap. So buying 10 of those will cost you 50 of the gold, which is nothing, even early game.
Stranger.
And they give you 15 health, so half of the health that the normal bandages will give you. However, the catch is that you can use those multiple times. This basically works as a painkillers. As you can see here, I'm just using them right now. I have full health anyway, but they don't give any side effect or anything. So having those, and you lose like half of your health, use 5 of those bandages, which is 25 gold, and you get your health back straight away. It gives you, it doesn't have any like the regeneration or anything like that. It just gives you the health back. So it's like really weak health potion from the other games. And early game, it might be a lifesaver. I even now I run with those. I'm at the moment on game stage like 80, I think, 82, and I still run with those sterile bandages just in case, and don't have to pay attention to the hydration of the painkillers or the cooldown if there is any hairy situation. I just use those bandages. Okay, so that was few of the tips that hopefully they will help you out going through the early stage of the game. If you like it, if you want more, or if you want me to figure it out or try to do some research on more of the stuff, please let me know. I can do it. It's pandemic at the moment, so everyone has much more time. So I will be happy to do it. Thanks for watching.